Mehreen sat in a cramped, dimly lit room, staring at the flickering tube light above her. The air was thick with the smell of stale curry, and the faint sound of her younger brother coughing reached her ears. This is life, she thought bitterly. A cycle of sacrifice, but today was different. Today, she had a chance. She had landed a job as a social media manager for Elon Lux, a high-end fashion brand that catered to the elite. The position wasn't glamorous, but it was her ticket out of a life where her biggest concern was how to stretch 500 rupees for the whole week. As she walked into the gleaming corporate office the next morning, she felt the weight of eyes on her. Her clothes, though neat, were a stark contrast to the effortless designer pieces worn by her colleagues. She didn't belong here, but she would make them believe she did. Her first task was simple craft engaging posts that made the brand look relatable. Every woman deserves luxury because you are worth it, Mehreen typed, attaching an image of a model holding a bag that cost more than her family's monthly rent. She wanted to laugh or cry. She wasn't sure which. The irony hit her hard every time she scheduled a post about affordable luxury. While she rationed food at home, every morning she rode an overcrowded bus. Yet she had to respond to influencer emails about first-class flight collaborations. She was the invisible force behind a brand that sold dreams. Knowing very well they weren't meant for people like her, still, she worked tirelessly. She was good at it. Within months, Elon Lux's engagement skyrocketed. Her ideas made the brand trend, and soon, she caught the attention of Ayla, the company's glamorous marketing director. "You have potential, Mehreen," Ayla told her one evening, sipping on an imported cappuccino. "You just need to refine yourself a little, dress better, speak better, you're smart. But perception is everything." That night, Mehreen stared at her reflection. Perception is everything. She took a deep breath and made a decision. She started borrowing pieces of the lifestyle she sold. She used her employee discount to buy a second-hand designer scarf. She learned to imitate the polished way Ayla spoke. She started frequenting cafes where the rich hung out, just to see what it felt like, and then, one day, she received an invitation to a high-profile gala. It was a networking event, but for Mehreen, it was something more, a chance to step into a world that had always been out of reach. Dressed in a borrowed dress and fake confidence, she entered the grand hall where crystal chandeliers sparkled like stars. The air smelled of expensive perfume and exclusivity. For the first time, she wasn't just the girl behind the social media posts. She was inside the world she marketed. But reality is cruel. She overheard a conversation to senior executives discussing how people like her were great for diversity but would never really climb the ladder. They don't fit the image. You can't put someone with a slum background as the face of a luxury brand, one of them laughed. Mehreen's stomach churned. They weren't talking about her directly, but they might as well have been. A month later, a scandal broke out. An influencer accused Elon Lux of exploiting interns. The brand's reputation was at risk, and someone had to take the blame. They called Mehreen into a meeting. "Mehreen, you managed the influencer collaborations, didn't you?" Ayla said smoothly. She knew what this was. She wasn't responsible, but she was disposable. "You're young. If you take responsibility, it won't ruin your career," Ayla added, her voice dripping with false sympathy. "We'll make sure you're taken care of later." Mehreen saw the truth in their eyes. She was never one of them. She was a convenience, a prop in their perfect world. This life was never hers. It was only borrowed. She stood up. "No, I won't take the blame." Ayla's expression hardened. "Think carefully, Mehreen. Do you want to throw everything away?" Mehreen took a deep breath. Everything? She never had anything to begin with. She walked out, leaving behind the illusion she had clung to for so long. Back in her small apartment, Mehreen sat down and stared at the city's skyline through her broken window. She had nothing again. No job, no borrowed luxury, just the raw, painful truth. But for the first time in a long while, she felt free. She opened her laptop and started typing. This time, not for a brand, not to sell a fantasy, but to tell the truth.